Well, wasn't that a terrific holiday we had, Vikings fans? We're 9-2, 9-2. Um, really entertaining game. Um, at times infuriating. I was, you know, I was at the stadium tonight cursing out the defense more than once. Um, but it, we saw it again. This team in the fourth quarter in 2022, they are just it's it's they're a different team. They just whatever they do the first three quarters, maybe do stuff bad. It changes in the fourth quarter as soon as it flips to the fourth quarter. Um, I mean, I already mentioned the defense. Like the defense was pissing me off so much in this game. They were terrible. This might have been for three quarters. This was maybe the worst the defense has been all year. I mean, other than I guess the Dallas game, but certainly the worst in any of the games that we were competitive in. And it felt like they were just going to give us no chance. Um, because Mac Jones isn't very good. He got hyped up a lot because the media wants the next Patriots star quarterback, but he's not. He's not particularly good. It doesn't matter. I mean, hell, I've been saying this, saying it week after week during the win streak. It doesn't matter who we play. We're going to turn them. We're going to make the quarterback look good. Um, and it's kind of the same thing. But it was kind of the same thing with the receivers wide open, not getting pressure. I mean, really, really infuriating stuff. And even like just the situations where we were giving up some scores. We let them go right down the field right before the half, right before the end of the first half, and get points. We let them go right down the field um, to start the third quarter, and then right after the Kene Wongwu touchdown, we let them go right down the field. Um, but again, they just become a different team. And I would like to, of course, give a special shout out to the bandwagon fans who completely turned on this team last week. Seven game win streak didn't mean anything because hey, we got blown out by Dallas, and yeah, we did. We got absolutely killed. But these people who thought that the Dallas game was the only game that represents what this Vikings team is. None of the other games matter. Just the 40-3. That's the only one that mattered. And they were now convincing themselves and hoping for the team to collapse so they could be right. Well, guess what? They didn't collapse. They came back. They came out on a short week, facing a guy who's soon to be the winningest coach in the history of the NFL. Very highly ranked defense. I'm not sure exactly where they're ranked, but they're top 5 for sure. And beat them. and they finished this month. I came into the month of November thinking if we go 2-2 against the toughest part of the schedule, which was this month, and I suppose you could say it extends to the next game because the Jets are still a winning team, although they just benched their quarterback, so who knows what's going to happen with them. But the toughest part of our schedule, and we went 3-1, and yeah, the 1 was really bad, but the 3 were really good. So to the bandwagon fans, I know they'll all pretend to jump back on and support the team, but we see you. And we're 9-2, and we got the comeback from Buffalo in the early game on yesterday now as of me doing this. So our magic number is down to 2. We could clinch the NFC North next week. like we're totally back. Like, it doesn't mean we're going to win every game. This doesn't mean we're going to win every game the rest of the season. It's just the people who thought that the Dallas game was just overshadowed everything else that this team has done for 3 months. It's just ridiculous. Um, of course, what was the other thing we were hearing constantly coming into this game? Not just the talk about the 40-3 game, but it's Kirk Cousins in a primetime game. And you know Kirk can't perform in primetime, even though that's been disproven so many fucking times by now. Um, Pretty good game from Kirk. What was it? What did he see? 30 of 37, I think. 3 touchdowns, just about 300 yards. I think he might have. I think I saw he was 299. So he was like just short. He did throw a pick. I thought the pick. I thought KJ Osborne was quite clearly held on that play, but it's possible he wouldn't have gotten to the ball anyway. Um, but and Kirk too. You get late in the game, and he's just money. And I can't believe I've gotten this far into the video without mentioning Justin Jefferson. I got his jersey on. I got the JJ jersey on, and he was incredible again. Um, another 100-yard game. He broke Randy Moss's record for most yards in the first 3 seasons combined, with six to go. Made a couple incredible catches. The first touchdown in the end zone, right at the front of the end zone, like a little crossing thing, caught it, got popped, but held on for the touchdown. And then that one um, on the drive where we took the lead for good. Just it ain't the Buffalo catch. Nothing's gonna maybe probably ever top that. But deep shot in between two guys, took a hit and caught it. Just an incredible catch. Um, and he had a bunch of other catches. Like he threw a pass on the first series to Thielen. Like just another monster game from Jefferson. It's like you may hold him down for a week, like he did and it wasn't even like they were holding him down in the Dallas game. It's just had no time to throw. Had absolutely no chance. Um, but like you ain't gonna hold him down. He's gonna come get you the next game. Just a monster game from JJ. Tremendous game from Kirk. Thielen caught some a few big passes. He got the winning touchdown. Hawkinson got his first touchdown as a Viking. Jalen Rager made a huge catch I think it was on the drive after they went up 26-23, I think it was. And we had like a third and kind of long and wide open over the middle. Hey, here's Jalen Rager making a big catch. KJ Osborne made a hell of a play late. We had the lead, we had the ball, and Kirk throws a pass, almost gets picked off, but Osborne kind of pulls it away. So everyone did a little something. Johnny Munt caught a couple passes. We didn't run too much. I don't really recall any like significant runs for Dalvin or Madison. You know, that makes it even more impressive that we were able to, we put, obviously the Wongwu touchdown doesn't count for the offense, but we put up 26. Okay, should have been 27 because freaking Greg Joseph missed another PAT. This is like a weekly occurrence now. He misses one. The only reason he didn't miss one last week is because we didn't score a touchdown. But this is gotten completely ridiculous with Greg Joseph. He's missed 5 PATs now, and he hits but then he hit field goals tonight. I think he hit what he hit 4 field goals or 3 field goals. You know, which and they weren't really any longer than the extra points. I don't know what it is. I don't get this PAT thing. I don't know if they're going to bring someone else in. Obviously, the missed PAT factored in at points tonight because, for one, we should have gone into halftime with the lead, and we would have had those last couple drives we would have been protecting um, um, an 8-point lead instead of a 7-point lead, but that just cannot continue. And there were a couple drives where we kind of short circuited in the red zone a little bit at Ingram. There's another thing that seems to be a weekly thing, a weekly problem. He got a holding penalty that wiped out what would have been a 1st and goal inside the 5. We had to kick a field goal then. And then there was another one later in the game. It was the one sack we gave up. If you told anybody coming into this game, coming off of last week, that we would only give up 1 sack with Christian Darrisaw out and Blake Brandel in, no one would have thought that was possible. But we only gave, I think it was just the 1 sack. Brandel got beat for one. It was on the drive where we tied it at 26, like right early in the 4th quarter. And I believe that was the only one. But this was, they had a much better offensive game plan in this game. There was lots of quick stuff, a lot of short passes available for Kirk. There weren't a lot of plays where he was going to need 5-6 seconds in the pocket. It was a lot of real quick stuff, and obviously not necessarily watching the left tackle every play, but I thought Brandel, look at the results. I think he played pretty well. I think he did a pretty good job. When he filled in the Buffalo game, he played pretty well. Last week was a disaster for everybody. He was okay in this game. He proved himself a capable backup tackle. Now, obviously, we want Darrisaw back. I would assume he's going to be back by the next game, but if he's not, I think we can feel okay about Blake Brandel out there. It was just a much better offensive game plan. We didn't run the ball much. I forgot to look at the stats for Cook, but there wasn't much. But Kirk, that makes it even more impressive that Kirk did what he did. And it wasn't just Kirk. I mean, obviously, Jefferson's making these catches. It's not just the throws, but it's a couple of these, the touchdown throws from Kirk, especially that last one to Thielen. That was just an absolutely amazing throw. And but I'm sure the primetime Kirk narrative will just continue because it's one of these things that people just bought into so much. There have been individual games where he hasn't played well, and it's been in a primetime game, and it makes people think that that's what he is. It's it has nothing to do with anything. He played very well in a primetime spot against an elite defense tonight. No one's gonna care. They're not gonna change their fucking narratives. I mean, they were talking about last week being a primetime Kirk game. It wasn't even a primetime game, but they wanted to. They so love their primetime Kirk narrative. It's just infuriating stuff. I mean, that all goes back to Kirk Cousins' deranged run syndrome, which is still out there. But it's just Madness. What else? What else have I not touched on here? Let me think here. So, talked about the offense. Talked about the defense. Good for KOC. He got a win against his mentor Belichick. First time we beaten the Patriots. Not the first time we beaten the Patriots in the Belichick era. We did beat them in 2000 when Bledsoe was still a QB. But this is the first time we've beaten them since then. So 22 years, long time. Felt, I didn't realize how much I needed to see the Vikings beat the Patriots, because I still, I still hate the Patriots. I don't hate them. I don't hate them nearly as much with Brady gone, but I still hate him. Belichick's still an asshole, and I'm glad. And I saw there were a couple things that he was bitching about officiating. I don't know what the hell they're talking about if they're bitching about officiating. They didn't call the hold on KJ. They missed a fucking. There was a false start that they called on the Vikings when two Patriot players jumped on defense first, and somehow they missed that. Are they mad maybe because the overturned touchdown? When it was 23-23, we let the Patriots go right down the field again. They hit a deep shot inside the 5. Looked like they got a touchdown. They reviewed it. The ball hit the ground. Like, it did hit the ground. May not like the rule, but I mean that if the ball hits the ground before the receiver has control of the ball, that's going to be ruled an incompletion. That's just how it is. So if they're mad about that, they can. Well, I mean, if you're a Patriots fan at all and you're bitching about officials, like, go fuck yourself. You got every call imaginable for 20 years. You can. You miserable assholes. Oh, maybe are they mad about the running into the punter? Ryan Wright got you know that was when wait, what was that? That was 26-26 at that point, because I think that was the drive then that we got the winning touchdown. I think it was right after the bullshit where they missed the offsides on defense, instead called us for a false start. I saw the replay. The guy for New England, his helmet went right into Ryan Wright's foot. Like, wasn't I forget it, whether it's rushing or roughing the kicker or running into the kicker. It depends if it's roughing the kicker if they hit the plant foot, but it's running into the kicker if they hit the kicking foot. And he hit the gig foot, like, he hit it right with his helmet. Like, that's the penalty. It wouldn't, I think it was like a 4th and 3. If it had been a 4th and 8, it would have still been a 4th down. So those are the breaks, Patriots. Sorry, you got every fucking break for 20 years. You didn't get that break. And yeah, Wongwu, I haven't really even talked about the kick return touchdown. What that he was getting returns. They were intentionally doing kickoffs to force a return, and he was just, it was kind of, he hasn't done much this year. I think this one tonight might have been the first kick he's taken past the 50 the whole year. It's just been a lot of just like nothing returns, except for this one, and that's kind of all you need. Like, no one's gonna get like constant long kick returns, but if you can get 1 or 2 a year in the right spot, it can swing a game, and that was so needed, because that was, our defense is just getting destroyed. They had just gone down the field, gone up 23-16. We were gonna get the ball, but all the that was probably like the quietest and most out of juice the crowd was the whole game. But that just swung the momentum right back in our favor, and that's what you need. Like, we didn't get that big turnover. Like a lot of these games, these close games this year, we've gotten that big turnover maybe to kind of swing momentum. We didn't get that tonight, but we got a big kick return. Sometimes that's the thing, a big special teams play. And we got the running into the punter penalty too. So um and it's just fourth quarter magic. Like, this wasn't like, other than the deep shot to JJ where he caught it between the two guys, there weren't like a lot of flashy memorable plays for this fourth quarter comeback, but it does count as a fourth quarter comeback because we entered the fourth quarter trailing. Um, so I think this is 5 now for Kirk this year. And of course, it's not just Kirk doing it, but when they lose, it's all on Kirk. So when they win, we're damn sure gonna praise Kirk for it. Um, and again, like, the defense was horrible for 3 quarters, and then they get to the fourth quarter, and they didn't give up, much of anything. I mean, the only time in the fourth quarter um, where it looked like they were going to really give something up, I think it was the second to last drive of the game. They gave up like a ridiculously long, like, little, it was like just a little pass to the running back or something, and he went for like 40 yards. Um, but then tightened up. They threw like a deep ball on a 4th and long, you know, and thought that was it. We couldn't. We have trouble. We've had trouble for years, even before this regime, of, like, you know really salting away these games. When we're up a touchdown, we can, burn off the clock, maybe go get another score. We never seem to do that. We can't. So the Patriots had a few shots at it um, after we had gone up 7, but the defense, like, it's as if they just completely changed their whole scheme, but only in the fourth quarter. Like, why can't we do that before the fourth quarter? Like, we were actually contesting passes. We were actually getting pressure on the quarterback. We were actually tackling well. Um, even like on the very last, like the very last plays of the game, like, there was that, we almost get a safety at the goal line, and then there's like a little pass to the sidelines, and Patrick Peterson, he didn't let that guy get out of bounds. Keeps him in bounds, keeps the clock running. Like, where is that for 3 quarters? And I don't blame the player. I do not blame the players. I blame the scheme. The scheme that gives these guys no shot when they're playing like that. And yeah, we were real shorthanded in this game. We didn't have Tomlinson. We didn't have Caleb Evans. We didn't have Booth. Duke Shelley was in there. Duke Shelley made another pass breakup in the end zone. I think that was right before the half. He made a breakup in the end zone to prevent a touchdown. Maybe this guy needs to see the field more, because he sure seems to make big breakups on those big plays. So that's about it for this game. But now going forward, um, you know, we're really on easy street for the division. I mean, it's impossible that we would not win the division at this point. Um, I mean, we're going to be going into week 13 in a clinching scenario. We're going to have a chance to be the first team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot, which is really cool. And now after this, this very tough month of November for the schedule, we've had injuries. Now we can kind of just take a breather. We got the 10 days now. We got the Jets coming in a week from Sunday. The Jets just bench Zach Wilson for Mike White, who I guess is a real person. Sounds like just a made up name. Like, Mike White. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's your name. But you know, we still have like 3 home games in our next 4. Like, we're still in a great spot to get the 2 seed. The 1 seed is going to be really hard. It is going to be very, very tough to get the 1 seed. But we can get that 2 seed. I'll feel fine about that. You know, we've had these injuries, but Tomlinson almost played. I think if it had been if this week we had played Sunday, I think he probably would have played. Um, we should get Darisaw back for the next game. I would think we're gonna get probably Evans and Booth back. And I know Booth was terrible against Dallas, but again, the scheme is giving a guy a shot. I think we got one more game we can't, or we won't have Dantzler. I think he's not going to be able to come back till the Detroit game. But also with where they have this big lead in the division, they're gonna clinch. Yeah, you want your seeding, but you don't have to push it. You can kind of keep some of these guys if you're a little hesitant about certain injuries. You can play it a little safer. I think that and I think they even did tonight with Tomlinson. Um, but we're I don't believe we had any significant injuries today. I think a couple guys came off injured. Some guy got hurt on a kick return. I don't even know who it was, but I'm not aware of any significant injuries. But yeah, I mean, I think I think now the big thing is now we can just kind of take a breath, take a breather, and just kind of sit back and enjoy being 9-2, having a 5-game lead in the division. Um, we can enjoy watching the Packers get beat by the Eagles. Although maybe we don't. There's an argument that we don't want the Packers to lose that game. That we would rather have the Eagles lose. But yeah, we need to relax at this point. You know, if nothing else, we've had to all sit through another very tense Vikings game. This one wasn't quite this tense. I mean, nothing's going to top like the Buffalo game ever. But you know, I think really December now, the December games, it's really just all going to be about seeding. We'll clinch. We will clinch. I don't even know who Detroit plays next week. But there's a very good chance, I think, that we will clinch the division next week, which is fantastic. And people can denigrate the Vikings all they want to, and we gave them some fuel for that in that Dallas game. But this was a hell of a response to come out a short week and to not even play well at all on defense, and you still won because your offense was really good against a top defense. Your quarterback was awesome. JJ was awesome, and it's all good. And what a way to finish off Thanksgiving, to first ever home Thanksgiving game for the Vikings. What a way to finish it off. 33-26. We're 9-2, and I'm fucking tired. And I'm going to sleep probably about, well, I gotta upload the video, but like about 5 minutes after I upload the video, I will be going to sleep because I'm exhausted. But I will be going to sleep happy because we are 9-2 and back. We're back. We never left, but we are back.